Good evening. Let's do this. Guys, can't just keep talking about the absolute current topics because there's not enough new shit happening. It's all the same regurgitated garbage. But, and I owe you better, and you expect better from me, and you should. I'm the analyst that predicted over 5% GDP growth within one fiscal quarter a year before anybody else said a word about it. I predicted not only that Donald Trump would win, but how he would do it, why it would happen, and the whole thing about about Bernie Sanders getting screwed in the election. So, the hot topic right now is Black Panther and the 13 fucking Russians. So let's do this. So, Black Panther. Black Panther is actually a favorite character of mine. I really like the Black Panther character. He's Black Batman. He's another type of Batman. Black Panther basically has fewer gadgets than Batman, but the gadgets he has, his suit is functionally indestructible. It's made out of the vibranium. Same thing as Captain America's shield. That's a big deal for for all that character stuff. But the hype around the Black Panther movie. Now, I am fully aware that all the other talking heads have been talking about this and how the Black Panther movie is the ultimate alt-right fantasy. I'm going to summarize all that real quick, and then I want you to know what the real truth is that you ought to be paying attention to. Okay, so the left and the black community in America and globally is just losing their shit about how amazing it is that there's this that there's finally a superhero movie with a black superhero. And not just a black superhero, but an all-black cast, except for the Tolkien white guys, Bilbo and Smeagol. But an almost all-black cast and an almost all-black crew. Black director, producer, so on and so forth. Yeah, okay. Whatever. But did any of them stop to think for a minute? Let me just take you back. Donald Trump. They would have us believe that Donald Trump is a xenophobe, isolationist, ethnonationalist, seeking a pure ethno-state surrounded by a high wall to keep all of the impure out. Right? They would have us believe that what the Donald wants to do is to purge all non-whites from America and just not let any non-whites back into America. Right? Shut off trade, all that stuff. That's what the caricature of the evil Donald Trump, the evil, literally Hitler. Ugh. So, Black Panther is King T'Challa of the fictional nation of Wakanda. One of the distinctions between Marvel and DC that I've always liked is Marvel stories, by and large, take place on Earth, and then that fantasy version of our real Earth is interrupted by external fantastical locations. Wakanda is one of these. There is no nation of Wakanda. But Wakanda is a pure ethno-state surrounded by a high wall that refuses to accept immigrants and refugees for fear that their entry will, and I quote from the character, change Wakanda. So there's been some noise on 4chan and the like that Wakanda is the alt-right dream, right? This is what the alt-right wants. And boom, we have controversy. We have people at each other's throats. Oh, racism, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my black power, all that's going on. Try to keep up, because I'm going to take you back a little bit. There's some information that you need. For one, there are other black superhero movies. Been a few of them. Some of them weren't great. Meteor Man, Blank Man, Steel. Not great, but they were black superhero movies. And they are the movies that those artists chose to make. What about Blade and Spawn? Those were both quite successful in their time. Blade blew it out. And let's not forget, Blade got a trilogy, was a black superhero with a white villain, and was also a Marvel franchise. Is also a Marvel franchise. So, first black superhero movie? There's no way that the guys writing these reviews and going all gaga over the first black superhero movie in Black Panther are unaware of the one that came out 20 years ago. Right? Just like with Wonder Woman. Oh, we're so thrilled to finally have a woman hero. We've got a strong woman character. It's the first time ever. Oh? In the sci-fi genre? Oh? Have we forgotten about Alien? Guys, there have been other movies. They didn't forget. They're lying. They're lying to cause you to believe that there is a controversy, to pretend like these victim groups are still victimized and oppressed by the evil white man. Oh, the cis-white patriarchy. Shit up your noses. These so-called artists, what they're doing with this divisive shit is creating an artificial controversy precisely to sell tickets. And it's working. It's absolutely working. Wonder Woman blew out box offices. Black Panther is blowing out box offices. They're selling you their shit, and you're buying it. Okay, we could talk about the socio-political ramifications of a film glorifying the idea of a black ethno-state till we're blue in the face. Whatever. If that's the movie you want to see, and hey, I'm gonna go see it. It's a superhero movie. I'm a big old nerd. I will see it because it's a superhero movie. If it's a good superhero movie, and I hope it is, and I expect it can be, we'll have to see if it's good enough to overcome the preachiness. But I mean, I'm hoping for a good movie, and I really look forward to it. Yes, dear, Xena counts. Xena absolutely counts. In fact, Xena is still chasing Diana down, trying to get her costume back. Because as we all saw, or at least I hope we all saw, in Ash vs. Evil Dead, Lucy Lawless is running around naked. And she needs her leather bikini back. So if anybody sees Diana, just say, hey, ma'am. But yeah, it's a lie that they tell you to falsify, to contrive, to manufacture a controversy specifically so you buy movie tickets. Go back to the movie Hidden Figures. It was a good movie. It was. But what was the hype? What was the buzz around it when it came out? They made this big stink about, oh, it's so important that we tell the story of these 3 women of color that were involved in the space program because they've been systematically repressed and just not taught about in our history books. All right. As soon as you hear someone say It's important that you know about these 3 women of color who were involved in the space program. Ask them. Make the point. Name one white man other than the 2 that were on television. And I'm usually surprised if somebody can bring up Buzz Aldrin. If you cannot name one white guy that wasn't actually on the moon, if you can't name one other than Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin, then you're a fucking liar. You're trying to pretend like these women like their stories have been hidden away because America just hates black people. But the fact of the matter is, you don't know anybody else who was involved in that program. Name somebody other than Albert Einstein that was involved in the creation of the A-bomb. Most of you can't do it. I know a lot of you in my audience can. I mean, and that's not just a high expectation that I have of my audience individually. I specifically know several of the people watching are definitely going to be able to name at least 3 or 4 other astrophysicists or physicists in either of those cases. But that is the manufacture. That is the game. The fact of the matter is that the controversy, the racial division in this country, exacerbated by Barack Obama, expanded by his ilk, these lefties, your lefty voter thinks they're doing something good. Your lefty politicians, your Hollywood lefties, all these commies at the Oscars, they're telling you lies to make you spend your money. Now, like I said, hype or no, I'm going to see the superhero movies because I enjoy them. They're stupid, they're fun, they're childish, and what do? They let me sit down, suspend disbelief, and escape my reality for a little while. Because that is what I watch these movies for, I would prefer to switch off the propaganda engine and just watch a superhero movie. That'd be great. But no. Got to inject some deep politics into every single one of them. Well, it's funny. This big important black movie came out right after Nancy Pelosi's long speech where she locked down the House because immigrants. So Nancy locked down the House to prevent the passage of the spending bill to fund the government for the sake of criminal aliens. Hostile foreign invaders. That phrase, illegal immigrant, undocumented workers, get that shit out of your vocabulary right now. When you say the words illegal immigrant, you are telling a lie. Immigration is a process of law. There is no such thing as an immigrant that is illegal. Hostile foreign invasion and immigration are not the same thing. The process of immigrating to this country is actually pretty easy and cheap compared to a lot of other places. So, if you want to say tear your blue hair out and pitch a temper tantrum and piss your pants and cry me a river of delicious, delicious salt because Donald Trump got elected and moved to Canada, well, they're not going to let you even apply for temporary residency unless you can show that you are a productive individual. You have to have a special skill set of some kind. You can't just turn up at the corner and say, hey man, I want to pick your strawberries. That's not an option. You want to leave the United States and immigrate to Canada? That's difficult. It's time consuming and it's expensive. It's very expensive. And you have to very clearly show an interest in staying there and not expatriating their useless loonies. That's money. They up there. You use loonies to buy donuts at the Tim Hortons, eh? But if you want to immigrate to America, to the United States, you file an application, a background check is run, which is just laughable at best. I mean, you're talking about a background check being run on people coming from, barring Mexico and a few others, you start talking about the Middle Eastern immigrants and whatnot. They're coming from countries that don't have records. There are no records to check. So the immigrants coming from there can be all manner of just monsters. And there's no way to verify or rebut that with a records check because they don't have any records. They're that damn backwards. So you fill that out, and then you have to take the civics test. Okay, so maybe you spend a little money on a refresher course, or you read a damn book, and then you pay your $725 for your application process, and you're in. Costs less than $1,000, and is not difficult. Now, it is a long process. It takes time. But one of the largest reasons that the immigration process takes time coming into this country is because we have several million hostile foreign invaders who are also the enforcement province of the same INS process. The criminal alien slows down the immigrant from coming here. But Nancy thinks that they are so damn important. Nancy loves these criminal aliens so much that she has literally subordinated the prioritization of our entire system to the provision of special privileges and allowances to the entire horde of hostile foreign invaders. Libraries are not free. We pay for them. And so you should use them, and you should chase out the hostile foreign invaders. I love you. So, it is literally the case that Nancy decided that harboring hostile foreign invaders is more important than paying for military, paying for border defense, paying her own salary. I'm okay with that. And tell your lefty buddies about this, or paying for the food stamps, or paying for Obamacare, or paying for Medicare, or paying for Medicaid. They actually subordinated our welfare state. I hate the welfare state. I do. But let this sink in. These loony lefty Democrats are actually subordinating the prioritization of the welfare state to the provision of benefits to hostile foreign invaders. Criminal aliens are not only taking money out of our system, but now, as a political bludgeon, are actively shutting it down. So your libraries go away, your parks go away, your roads go away, your defense mechanisms go away, your police go away, your military goes away. And listen to this one, Democrat voters. The food stops coming in. That is what they're doing. So right before Black Panther comes out and we get our dream of a black ethno state, David, brother, Look, I know you're new to the show, so let me just clue you in on something. I'm a licensed insurance agent in the state of Georgia. I have recently closed up my brokerage and stopped doing. I don't do it anymore. I am still licensed. I can still write, but you say don't get me started on Obamacare. I literally own ObamacareInGeorgia.com. I'm getting rid of it because it's turned into a fucking nightmare. But well, David, give me a call. Maybe I can help you out. A little free advice for you. But let me get back to it. Yeah, food stamps, military forces, all gone for the sake of the criminal alien. And Nancy said a little something. Okay, so I got to tighten this up because my boom is getting in my shot here. Oh, it's drooping. It's slowly drooping down. Okay, sorry about that. It would have been funny as hell if it just suddenly fell and knocked camera over. It's a good looking microphone though. Anyway. Glad to hear it, David. Good to go. Okay. So, right before we get Wakanda and yada yada yada, Nancy does her shutdown. Hostile foreign invaders are bad. And she says, and this is all to put a nice little bow on some of this. Nancy tells us this story about her grandson and his birthday party. And he has this little friend named Antonio. And Antonio has the most beautiful brown skin and the most beautiful brown eyes. And her little grandson said, Nana, I wish I had brown skin and brown eyes like Antonio. And isn't that just so beautiful? It's just so beautiful. The beauty's in the mixture. The beauty's in the mix. All right, Nancy. Tell me, what if Antonio said that he wishes he was a blue-eyed ginger? Is that beautiful? Is that okay? Should we be proud should we be proud and tearfully elated when brown children say they want to be white? Is that okay? Or are you just, oh, wait, that's right. 'Cause Joey Kennedy, the frickin' drooling cuck, has stated unequivocally in his State of the Union address that the Democrat Party official political platform now is to have it both ways. That's always been their methodology. That's always been their rhetorical tactic. But their official party platform is to have it both ways. Good Lord, woman, you were on fire tonight. Love you. So, yeah, the purple F in the chat line there, that's my loving wife, and she distracts me, you understand. I think I've about run out the Wakanda topic, so let's talk about the 13 magic Russians. Y'all, 13 indictments on foreign nationals somehow loosely involved in the organized misinformation campaign against U.S. elections. And the indictments clearly indicate that they were actively involved in misinformation, disinformation, dissemination of false news, and so on and so forth, against both campaigns. Now, the Mueller indictments on these 13 Russians seem to indicate that it's another one of those have it both ways things. There's a clear indication within the indictments that they were involved on both sides. There's also a clear claim that they were largely involved against Hillary and pro-Trump. There's a few things here. Let's assume everything that is said about them is true, and these Russians publicized opinion about political candidates in the United States, where, unlike almost every other country on the planet, we have the First Amendment. So there is no claim, no evidence, and in fact, counter testimony to the claim that the election was hacked. Let's just pop back a little bit. Donald Trump wins the election. Almost immediately, the Russians hacked us. And almost immediately after, the Democrats and the mainstream media start screaming, the election was hacked. The election was hacked. Almost immediately after they started screaming that, Barry O himself came out and said, no, our political system is still in it's a Obama impression. I have to continue to stutter. Intact. And every state governor, up and down, no, the election was not hacked. The voting machines are secure. No hacking. Oh, well, it was Facebook. And we get the guy in from Facebook to testify before the committee. Less than 1% of posts. And so now we have that memeing and shit posting is a crime. I wonder if the same judges that chose to fight the Trump travel bans based on the assertion that non-citizen foreigners are entitled to the First Amendment protection of freedom of religious expression, I wonder if they will comment in opposition to the claim that the same First Amendment should not extend its protection to the free speech of non-citizen foreigners. Or wait, I guess if they took that position, they'd only get to have it one way. But this is Burger Kang's edition. Legion, I may just do that. That'd be pretty funny. I'll have to drape some more green screen over these here. Get the Obama portrait backdrop around me. That'd be hot. So, to recap, they're lying to you. They're still lying to you. And they're going to continue lying to you. They didn't forget about Ridley. They didn't forget about Blade. They didn't forget about... They sure as hell didn't forget about Steel. I mean, it was Shaq. It was Shaq. They didn't forget about Steel. Bullshit. Guys, they're lying to you and they're going to keep lying to you. Wonder Woman, they wanted to sell you some tickets. So let's pretend like there haven't been any other women on the television. Pretend like there haven't been any other women on the silver screen. Black Panther. I want to see it. I hope it's a good movie. I do. But all the controversy, they're selling you tickets. They're causing a controversy so that the movie is the thing that people are talking about. And they're doing it by stoking racial divide and running the risk of causing riots in this country. Y'all, this victim stacking crap has got to go. I don't know. Have you guys heard about the progressive stack? Anybody tracking on what that is? I'm going to explain it to you anyway. There's this concept, especially in academia now, called the progressive stack. And it's largely used to silence this guy. Straight, cisgendered, okay. Straight, white men. I'm sure Christian falls in there somewhere too, and so on, conservative. Those all push you further and further down the stack. So the idea of the stack is you take all the victim hoods, minority, female, trans, gay, disabled, any amount of any type of victimhood that you can have. You get in a progressive stack, aka hierarchy of victimhood. Yes. You take all those, and when let's say you're in a classroom, a teacher asks a question and everybody raises their hand. The teacher will look around at these people, will look around at the students with their hands raised, and she will look for the student that appears to have the highest number of victim points. So, I'm going to be called last. I'm on the bottom of the stack because I'm a straight white man. And then if there's a black man in the classroom, he'll be called before me. If there's a white woman in the classroom, depending on the particular twist of the progressive agent that's teaching the class, they'll probably take the black guy over the white chick. And then next is a black woman, or basically any other color and woman. And then after color and woman, higher up the chain is gay, trans. I'm not sure where disabled falls in there, but it falls in there somewhere. And me being a disabled veteran apparently doesn't count. Whatever. Now, frankly, I just don't deal with progressive stack. As many of you know, I'm a habitual hobby student. I go to college for pure entertainment. And, I mean, let's don't get wrong. I got a GI. I'm a disabled veteran. I get a GI Bill. There's a little bit of money in it, but I have a ball. And I don't give a shit about your progressive stack. I'll just open my mouth. I'll just start talking. There is no such thing as a lecture with me in a room. We are having a conversation. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you a story. A couple years ago, I was doing a little work with a political campaign, and I was at a debate, and my candidate was up there with a little more than half a dozen other candidates, and one of the issues that was really a hot ticket issue was RFRA, Religious Freedom, the Religious Freedom Act, and I almost said the interrogator. The intermediary, the mediator, the moderator. There it is. The moderator asked the question, what is your position on RFRA? And one of the candidates, the candidate whose turn it was to answer, just started talking. And she started talking about economic development and jobs, and I think jobs are super important, and we need to get more jobs, and economics, and it's economy stupid, and I mean she just absolutely vomited a bunch of just random talking points out of her mouth, and was just clearly didn't know what the question was asking. And when she finished speaking, the moderator said, "Now, I just want to clarify. The question was," and this is a town hall. There must have been 300-400 people in there, a little better than half a dozen candidates up there. And the moderator goes, "I just want to clarify. The question I asked was," and I stood up and hollered at him. I said, "Shut up! If they don't know what's going on, we need to know that. Don't clarify shit. If they're stupid, we need to know that." Armed security attempted to escort me from the building. I told them that if they continued to attempt to escort me from the building, that we would have to call off the debate. And they said, "Fair enough." And we finished the debate. So, in a classroom, I shit right off that progressive stack. I ain't got time for it. I don't have time in my cheap entertainment for your racism. I just am not interested. But I think, let me see, the amazing logical fallacy of this is how Muslim supersedes gay. Yes, but only Islam. No other religion supersedes a life choice in the progressive stack. That's a good point, Legion. If you're Jewish or Christian or Buddhist or anything like that, they don't care. If you don't make a habit of murdering homosexuals and beating your women, then your opinion does not have any weight. Yeah, it's Deus Vult. It's Crusader for Allahu Akbar. Or no, Alhamdulillah. Right? Is that the feeling of victim? Is that like failing a victim check? Like greater than 4 on a D20? Yeah, Roger, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about 20 minutes early, but I'm going to go ahead and call it. Because I've just run out of material for the evening. I've been busy as a squirrel trying to shit a pineapple and have not prepared an adequate quantity of my mouth blathering at you for this particular 1-hour episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. Thanks for coming out. I love you. I can't wait to see you next week. And remember, until then, if you build a man a fire, you'll keep him warm for the evening. But if you teach him how to fish, you'll lose a repeat customer. Good night.